My second international trip in a month, Mexico City was a vacation I spontaneously booked for Simon and me to enjoy after his licensure exam. Visiting Mexico City on Dia de los Muertos has been a dream of mine, and when the opportunity arose, we said YOLO. There's nothing I love more than visiting a place so full of life, celebration, and holiday festiveness. The largest city in North America, Mexico City is an example of urban design done right. From civic main squares to small walkable neighborhoods, the city is dense with spaces designed for pedestrians. Even the large boulevards that serve automobile traffic get closed off for things like parades. There are plenty of parks, plazas, and these third places that promote community engagement and good old-fashioned hanging out in the neighborhood. A concept that America has failed to grasp. Throughout our 4 days exploring different neighborhoods in both day and night, we never felt unsafe. Zocalo is the main square in Mexico City, having been a gathering place for Mexicans since Aztec times. Nowadays, it's a bit touristy, but continues to serve as a central gathering spot for tourists and locals alike, especially nearing the weekend. Locals were shopping for pan de muerto at bakeries and spending their holiday off admiring the giant ofrenda of Pancho Villa, just like we were. My favorite neighborhoods in the city were Roma Norte and Coyoacan. Roma Norte is one of the more hip and gentrified areas, full of brunch cafes and digital nomads. Simon loved walking over to their bakeries in the morning and discovering eclectic eateries. Fellow Americans. Coyoacan is a bohemian suburb that has kept its local charm. With cobblestone streets, colonial architecture, artisan markets, cultural performances, and museums like Frida Kahlo's house, this place had such an amazing vibe. I loved sitting in Jardín Centenario and just people watching. The locals in Mexico didn't know as much English as I expected, as compared to Europe, for example, but at every moment I was grateful to have a rough understanding of what people were saying and be able to communicate something back, albeit in broken Spanish. The biggest gracias to my teachers for 4 years of high school Spanish classes that whipped me into shape, and for teaching more than just a language, but fostering a deep appreciation and curiosity for Latin culture and traditions. When we visited Coyoacan and sat down in a park because I was still recovering from food poisoning, the abuela next to me points to the locals dancing nearby and asks me to dance. No sé bailar, I replied. Está bien. Puedes aprender. She points to the teacher. Finally, when a nice abuelo asked me up to dance, I said sure, and we had a great time. These are the experiences I treasure the most. Dia de los Muertos is a holiday unique to Mexico that combines ancient Aztec traditions with Hispanic Catholic dates. The holiday honors those who have passed, but instead of framing it as dark and somber, it's a bright and cheerful festival that celebrates lost loved ones in a positive way. Just like in the movie Coco, there are marigolds everywhere in the city. Alebrije statues on Paseo de la Reforma, giant statues in Zocalo, Catrina skeletons outside storefronts, and beautiful, exquisite ofrendas everywhere. The city comes alive with color, and everyone is in a festive mood. And since the week overlaps with Halloween, there are people out and about in costumes and makeup at all times of the day, which just makes walking around all the more fun. There's Squidward. Here are some of the ofrendas we saw around the city. At hotels, parks, church plazas, and even pharmacies. The largest museum in Mexico, the National Museum of Anthropology, tells the comprehensive history of pre-Columbian Mexico through artifacts, including ones from Aztec, Mayan, and other ancient civilizations.
Good boy. He's a good boy.
However, my favorite parts were the outdoor sections of each exhibit, designed to offer a relaxing walk through nature. The outdoor Mayan exhibit was such a treasure, complete with a replica of a temple that had serious Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones vibes. But the most insane thing we saw after exiting the museum was these death-defying pole dancers demonstrating an ancient Mesoamerican ritual called Danza de los Voladores. The ritual consists of dance and the climbing of a 30-meter pole, from which 4 of the 5 participants in native garb then launch themselves, tied with ropes, to swing around upside down until they finally descend to the ground. The 5th guy remains on the top of the pole, dancing and playing a flute and drum.
What dynamics problem did we just watch?
Guys spiraling down from the top of the column.
What are the factors that affect?
Their weight, the initial speed, rotational speed when they come down, the stiffness of the rope, length of rope, maybe. Yeah.
And how flashy their costumes are.
Yeah, exactly.
Day 2, what are we doing today?
We are walking over to Roma Norte
Roma Norte.
for a tour.
Tour of what?
The canals.
What are they called?
I don't remember.
Xochimilco.
See.
Xochimilco was a day trip we knew we wanted to experience, so we took an Airbnb experience, where the local guides showed us the town of Xochimilco and its local markets, before taking us aboard a trajinera on a boat ride around the Chinampas. I was expecting a peaceful boat ride, but instead it was party town. Every trajinera is playing music, people are eating and dancing, and the vendors float by selling foods and decor and live music. We enjoyed tacos, elote, micheladas, pulque, and plenty of Mexican beers. What a fun activity to do for a birthday or a bachelorette celebration.
Hey, what are we doing?
We're resting in between walking. I don't have the energy to continue this. All the food came out of me.
We had our fair share of tacos during our time in Mexico City. But the place we still think about the most was Taqueria Orinoco. These were the best tacos I've ever tasted. We stood in line for almost an hour to get in, but it was so worth it. The menu doesn't have much, but every taco combination is perfected to perfection. On our last day, we discovered a swanky seafood place called Mi Compa Chava in Coyoacan. There were tostadas, ceviche, oysters, sashimi, and more. And for a really reasonable price. In terms of sweets, we had churros at a chain called Churreria El Moro. But not gonna lie, I think Costco's is better. And that caramel dip was way too sweet. For Dia de los Muertos, we visited Pasteleria Ideal, an iconic pastry shop founded a century ago, with very traditional bread and lots of pan de muerto. Everyone was carrying these colorful boxes out the door. And we tried some as well, but they were very traditional recipes, and not exactly the fluffy, buttery French stuff that you expect from bakeries. And last but not least, Panaderia Rosetta is a super popular bakery in Roma Norte, known for guava rolls. On the days where I worked from the hotel in the mornings, Simon would have the best time walking over and picking up breakfast.
What you doing? Eating a pineapple pudding this morning.
What are all these crumbs on the ground? Oh my god.
We had a short 4 days, cut even shorter by some food poisoning I got from our restaurant's horchata. Sad. But nevertheless, had an amazing time experiencing Mexico for the first time. Next visit, I'd love to visit Teotihuacan, the Frida Kahlo Museum, and see more ancient ruins in other parts of Mexico, like Chichen Itza. Adios!
What you doing?
Looking for mosquitoes. Here.
Public enemy number one.
Yesterday there was a mosquito. Last night, well, there were two. I killed one already. I killed one today. It bit me. And, yep, bass blood.